Hello, I am Badri Shaparna, a business leader with over 25 years of experience in various industries, starting from machine tools, moving on to automotive supports and to semiconductor. Today I am going to talk about mobility, the world changing moves. General belief is that there are industries which stay disconnected, but in reality they stay connected. This is the message which I want to share it with you, and this was my experience also. Here you see a typical car industry and a product which is from the mobile industry. There are some things, if you see, when we describe a car, we talk about powertrain, horsepower, styling, we have a good body line, we have this kind of feature, that kind of paint. We are talking about music and video. We are also talking about advanced electronics, maybe this electronic stability program. All are driven by the road networks. If you have good networks, you have a good utility value of the car. Let's take the case of the mobile. We are talking of speed and memory. The faster the mobile, you are able to process more applications. Memory is also very important because you need to store a lot of data and maybe even the applications. We have the operating systems and applications. We have the old generations, then we have the Android and the new generation versions of the operating systems also. Many applications are driving the entire utility value of the product. Recreation, the games which we use. Motion sensors. Today the mobile has become very sensitive to touch. Connectivity. The infrastructure of networks drives the entire product. If you see, there are a lot of parallels between these two industries. I had a physical experience of this in both the industries, and I found that the car and the mobile, while the car connected us in the physical world, the mobile connects us in the information world. And at a manufacturing level where I was involved in supporting the entire processes at critical stages, there were some key steps which were followed in both industries. Strong R&D, advanced manufacturing processes including robotics, clean rooms, class 100 or maybe better, automation in the entire process, analytical tools to get the best out of the entire production scheming, and at the end, the whole product was driven by the affordability indices of the consumers. And I was also one of the users of these two. What was most important was, this was a cycle, start here, go here, again come back. They were operating in different worlds, but they had something which was very commonly driving the manufacturing process. I had the opportunity to work on two critical technologies. One was in the automotive industry, another was in the electronic industry. Automotive industry was the CRDI, Common Rail Direct Injection, which is what drives the advanced diesel engines of the vehicles today, a fuel injection system method, and the DVDs, which was evolving due to high storage need, either for the data or because movies were getting burnt, or we have gaming technologies like PS2 and onwards. There are a lot of similarities which happen, which I am trying to share at the core level of the processes. From a buyer's or a business standard practice point of view, we had global cooperation. Many companies were involved, spread across various geographies. They had to localize. It means that to set up production processes, procuring methods, maybe the cleanliness, everything had to be localized but still deliver the core of the value to the product. Field trials driven. Anything which was not tried out was giving value, it was never accepted. So field trial was a necessity. We had to prove out. Next is scalability. We had to prove that if we become bigger, more volumes, there is no variation in the performance. And all along, actions had to be taken on the feedbacks which we received from the customers, from the end users, from the user groups, or within the organization itself. These two were common to both the industries, and it was evolving as a standard practice. It is not the end of the story. We have the next stage. There were new trends which were emerging in both the industries. One was, all the people were working towards target costing. Target costing is very important because that's the time you are more proactive in approaching the market rather reactive. Then we had influence of global trends. It could be demographic, it could be social, it could be some amount of political influences also. These trends drove not only the geography where it evolved, but also created a ripple effect in the other places. Non-disclosure agreement. This was the heart of the entire technology which was happening in both the industries, because the speed of change was so high, the criticality of technology was so high that people who were involved, be it a supplier, the customer, the end user, the inside people, they had to make sure that they protect their know-how. Benchmarking across industry, which I already done. This was happening because the good manufacturing practices were available, probably in several other industries also. So they were trying to get the best out of it and incorporate in their manufacturing processes. Back to the future. As we say, old fashioned does come back. Typical example, we say, we had very small mobiles, today we have large mobiles, but we have advanced features like touch sensors. So some old things are also coming back, but with better casing, better packaging. Now these two together have now become a bigger wheel. The wheels of the future, which I call. The first one is the top line and bottom line observation. What I show here is the future drivers of all businesses, because many businesses stay connected, but there are many factors which are going to be common. The first one is the top line and bottom line acceleration. Knowing that we have very short time, we have to speed up the performance levels, and that is why the word acceleration. Next, we have the blue oceans. When competition is increasing so much, we find it very difficult to serve the same markets. We need to find a new set of users, creating new kinds of features, new kinds of benefits to the end users. This is where the whole effort comes in. The third one is the statistical performance ability. When the volume picks up, we need to make sure that every product which is rolling out of the factories is giving the same level of performance to all the users. The fourth one is the technological comfort of users. It is not good enough that we have high-end technology. We need to make it more receptive, and it should be comfortable to use. The fifth one is the proactive course corrections. Market feedback today comes in such a short time that if we do not take actions, it might have negative impact. So we need to be sensitive to that and observe it and take actions as possible and communicate to the whole user world. The most important, the core of the entire process which is going to drive the future is sustained value innovation. Value innovation used to happen in bits and pieces. Today it is happening on a daily basis. Most important is we need to sustain it, because we have to bring value to the end user as well as to ourselves. We need to match the cost, we need to match the expectations and the performance. All these three things, three wheels, if you see, they give a comprehensive view of not only these two industries, but the emerging new trends in the industries. I am sure that you will be able to use some of the experiences which I had in your industry and apply them positively. Thank you. Have a good day.